Hello, everyone. This is Maya Zahira with Psychic Protection Sanctuary, and we are now starting our Facebook Live 2020 Visioning Party. This is in our Facebook group called Spiritual Empowerment Community. It's one of my 2 free Facebook groups. So if you're not in my other one and you want to join that, I'm going to tell you about it real quick. It's called Psychic Protection Sanctuary, and that is for people who are really wanting to learn about psychic protection types of stuff. This group that you're in right now is all about personal empowerment, personal growth, developing your spiritual gifts, living an empowered life. So let's dive right in. Wow, we have tons of people here. This is so awesome. I'm so excited. It brings tears to my eyes. We have been taking a break from our Facebook Live. I'm just laughing because I cry so easily. Like just seeing all of you, like everybody joined, like boom, like all these people, it makes me cry. So you guys are awesome. We took a long break from our Facebook Lives, even though I've been very committed to putting out a couple of free classes every single month. For quite a while now, but I knew realistically that I needed a break because I was in the middle of moving long distance from the Kansas City area to Tucson. So right now I'm in my new place in Tucson. So here we are. I'm so excited to connect with all of you again. So we usually do this usual little routine at the beginning of our Facebook Lives. And if you can go ahead and type a comment and say hi and where you are joining from. I might know where you're from, but the rest of the people don't. Also, just a shout out to everybody watching the replay. I want to let you know that a lot of my Facebook Lives are informational where, you're asking questions and I'm teaching about a topic. This one is a little bit different. This one is more interactive. But even if you're watching the replay, I encourage you to do it all with us, okay? Or take notes and do it later, all right? So I am super laid back about how we do this today, you guys. I know that some of you actually messaged me and let me know that you're driving and you're doing, all sorts of things, but you wanted to be here in the live, at the energy of the live feed. And that is awesome. I'm so glad. My philosophy, even with my paid program students, is that I would rather that you just be here at all. Even if I had one student who had just moved, and so she had the video class on, but she had her video turned off so we couldn't see her because she was unpacking, because she had so much unpacking to do. And I was like, hey, that's awesome. I mean, at least you're here, right? So that's great. But if you are driving, please be careful and don't be watching the video, of course. just be listening in. You can do the activities later. So once again, those of you who are here live, go ahead. And if you're watching the replay too, go ahead and type in where you're joining from, what city and state. And so I know we have a few more people who are going to be joining us. So I went ahead and planned accordingly. And I decided that at the very beginning, I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards, and these ones. And this is just to give us a little bit of insight into the year that has passed and the year that's coming. By the way, we're doing this recording at the end of 2019, going into 2020, but you could watch this video every year if you wanted to and get different things out of it. So if I say 2019 or 2020, fill in the blank with whatever year you are watching this. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle my cards right now, and I hope it doesn't cause the camera to jiggle too much. And then once I pull some cards, then I'll go back through all the comments and read off all of your names and where you're from. But I figure we'll do this first just to give everybody a chance to get in here And so we're asking for guidance on, I'm tuning in right now. What are we asking for? Let's ask for guidance in what this past year was really trying to teach you. Like, what's the lesson? Okay. What's the lesson? Now, every single one of you has different lives. You're all unique. We're all unique here. But one thing that I've noticed, and a lot of psychic readers have mentioned this as well, that whoever is attracted to come and watch a video or come to a group class or whatever, we're all at a similar vibration. And so, like, we all have the same themes going on. Even if it looks different, it's all the same. So that's why when I pull this message, it's going to apply to everybody who's watching. Okay. If you have a journal or a notebook, you might even jot some of this down. Jot any ideas that come, and anything that I share that doesn't resonate, just leave it. And anything that does resonate, then jot it down. Okay, so the lesson for this past year. Oh, so I accidentally, ooh, I'm laughing because, okay, so we actually got some kind of intense cards here. Two cards stuck together. I was just going to pick one. And actually, I think I want to pick a third one. This one. Okay. All right. Well, we got like, honestly, we got like the scariest card in the entire deck. Thank goodness it's about the past year and not the coming year. Oh my goodness. So hear me out as I share the entire message. This is just an acknowledgement of this past year. And again, if you're just joining, go ahead and tell us where you're joining from, and I'll go ahead and go back in just a minute and say hi to everybody. Okay. So the very first card that I got, and now I know there's going to be some glare, so I hope you can sort of see this card. There's my ring light that's right in front of my camera. This is the Temptation card. When I use this deck, I don't necessarily take the words literally, so this doesn't necessarily mean temptation literally. When I see this card, I know that many of us were dealing with some very dark energy in our world, in our lives in this past year. Actually, I am feeling like there are some of you watching where that darkness was showing up as temptation, as addiction, or as temptation to do some things that were not right for you. But that feels like that's about 30% of those of you watching. The rest, for the rest of you, it's not really about temptation. It's more about you're having to deal with either some people that are really difficult or even some energies. Okay, so we're acknowledging the common thread here with the whole group is that there was definitely some challenging energy, some dark energy that was cycling through our lives in this past year. And then we also have the Sacrifice card. And one thing that I'm going to point out is that, so even though there are difficult actions that needed to be taken in this past year in order to deal with that darkness, trying to get rid of the ring light here, you still had the blessings of the divine, the blessings of the universe were on your side. So whether that was like literally angels watching over you, divine, whatever you call, divine creator, or there are some of you that I'm getting like some of your grandmothers who've passed away were watching over you, were helping you, your spirit guides, like all of that. Your team was watching over you this past year. So really, this is just simply an acknowledgement that y'all had, me included, had a super hard year where on some level there was some threads of darkness that you were having to deal with, but you had a lot of divine support. Now, that doesn't mean that all of us in the group had super hard years, had a super hard year. I feel like there were a lot of successes in this past year, but the common thread is there. I think if you really think about it, you'll realize, oh, there was like definitely a thread of darkness or despair that you were dealing with. So bravo for staying focused and moving through that and doing what needed to be done. Hi, Kitty. Doing what needed to be done so that you could move through it. And then whenever I get kind of a challenging message like that, sometimes I want to pick an additional card just because like I want to really find also the positive aspect of it as well. So I got the intuition card, and this I'm seeing a bridge. I feel like this is a message not only for this past year but for the year to come, that the key that helped you in this past year, and some of you didn't do it. There's like 20% of you that didn't do it and things were harder. But the key was for you to listen to your inner guidance, to stop listening to what everybody else is telling you to do and listen to what's right for you as you move through those challenging energies and make those sacrifices. Listening to your intuition, listening to your inner guidance, not listening to that negative voice in your head anymore. For some of you, that's true. You had to just tell that voice to shut up so that you could listen to the true voice within. And again, I'm seeing a bridge that this is something that many of you are collectively still learning how to do. And so you'll be taking that lesson into 2020, into this next year with you. So I also set the intention that if anybody randomly in the future finds this video and it's like some other future year and you're new to my channel, I set the intention that this message applies to you as well. So think about it and see what sits right for you. Okay, so that's a bit of acknowledgement for the year that is passing and the year that's coming. So let's go ahead and do our shout outs. Okay, all right, so as I scroll back, we have so many people. Oh my gosh, not all of you have said hello. You need to say hello. So we have DC Reed. Hello, Destin. She says, hi, Maya, Happy New Year. And we have Megan saying hello from Kentucky. We have Constance says hello from Casey Mo, which for all of you who are not from that area, it's Kansas City, Missouri is what Casey Mo means. Melissa says hi from Lawrence, Kansas. Hello. Let's see here. Mindy from St. Joe, Missouri. Anna says driving and here from Lawrence, Kansas. Yes, drive safely, please. Lindy, hi from the UK here. Hello across the ocean. Hello to you. Marcia, hi from Casey, Kansas City. Anne says, hi, this is Anne from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Hello. And Erica says, hello, everyone. Zahira says, hi and Happy New Year from Zahira in Renton, Washington. Hello there. Erica says, hello from Indiana. Carrie from Kansas City. Mindy says, hi. Amira, hello to all from Northwestern Michigan. Hello there. Hi, everybody. And if you weren't able to say hi, then I'm still saying hi to you. Maybe you're driving or doing something else. But either way, it's so good to connect with all of you. We're going to jump in here in just a moment into our real work for today. Well, the first part was also our work, but let me just give a 30-second blurb for those of you who are new to me or to my work. My name is Maya Zahira, And my website is www.psychicprotectionsanctuary.com. I help people manage their energy, and by that I mean spiritual energy. I help you manage your energy. So if you are a person who considers yourself to be sensitive or an empath, or even if you're not and you have to go to work every day and the energy is not that great there, or whatever, really all people on the planet at some point or another have to learn how to manage their energy to not feel tired or exhausted or depressed after being around challenging energy. And if you're living on this planet, which you are, anyone living on this planet can be kind of challenging energetically. And so I believe that everybody needs to learn tools for managing your energy and becoming more empowered. That being said, I also help people on this other more extreme end of the spectrum, people who are experiencing unwanted paranormal activity and are really needing help managing their energy. I help with that as well. So if that is something that you are having an issue with, just let me know and I'm happy to help out. This group, though, this spiritual empowerment community Facebook group, is less about the psychic protection, spiritual warfare stuff and more about just living your best life ever. If you really need psychic protection support, then I have another group that has monthly Facebook Live classes that are super informative but kind of intense. And that group is called Psychic Protection Sanctuary. So look for that group on Facebook. Okay, it's a support group. Okay, so I think that is all that you need as far as a blurb and how to connect with me if you would like more after this Facebook Live. Speaking of Facebook Live, I am planning on giving out 3 free gifts to some people who are in the Facebook Live, but you have to be here at the end. Okay, and those, the free gift that I was guided to give is a free 15-minute video session with me. So we hop on and we're on video just like this, and we can talk about anything that you like. And if you didn't already know this, I am psychic as well. I'm not a mind reader. I always tell people, don't worry, I'm not reading your thoughts. But I am very intuitive and I do intuitive coaching with people. So if you win the free drawing, then we can hop on for 15 minutes. You can ask me any questions about your life, anything that you're stuck with, whatever. I can help you with that. Okay. And this is not just for new people, but anybody who's here can win. Okay. All right. So we have a few more people who said hello. And then while I'm reading off those shout outs really quick, if you don't have a pen and paper or a journal, notebook, I've got a notebook that I'm using, but you can have like art paper, you can have like your whole container. I've got like gel pens. I'm not very artistic. I don't think. Maybe I am. But I do like using colors. So I'm gonna honor that. I'm not very good at drawing. So don't feel like you have any pressure that you have to be artistic in a way that means anything in particular. You can just write notes with a pen and paper, or you can use colors like I'm going to, or you can like make drawings, or you can like make a collage. It doesn't matter. You can make a vision board as we go through this. So grab your supplies. You also might want to get some water and a cup of tea or something. Okay, so let's do these last few shout outs. Jeannie says hi from Piper, Kansas. Hello. And Kenzie says hi, Maya. Hi, Kenzie. And we have a lot of people who haven't said hi yet. And you know what? I know some of you are multitasking, so that's okay. Dustin says, thank you, Maya. Ever nice. And Cindy says, hey. Hey, Cindy. Good to see you. Okay, so let's take a moment to ground. Now, again, if you're driving, I don't want you to meditate while you're driving. That would not be a good idea. But the rest of us, we're going to take just a moment to ground. I'm going to get a little drink of water. By the way, I'm pretty sure this is going to take us an hour, or maybe an hour and a half. It's going to take us however long it takes us. So we'll just see. This is not a quickie Facebook Live. So what I'd like for you to do in just a moment, we're going to ground and center. The reason is because as we do this visioning process, I don't want you to be using your analytical mind for this process. The intent here is for you to be really connecting with your essence, with your spirit, with your inner truth, not the monkey mind, right? So let's just take a few moments. We're going to do a really, really brief meditation. So wherever you're at, I want you to place your feet flat on the ground, or if you're sitting cross-legged, just sit up even a little bit taller. If you're sitting in a chair and your legs are crossed, though, go ahead and uncross them. But if you're sitting on the floor cross-legged, that's okay. Okay? And I want you to just notice as you allow your eyes to soften and close. Just notice what you feel like right now. Notice what your energy feels like, or if anything stands out about your body. Maybe something feels tight or expanded. Notice what kind of emotional state you're in without any judgment. Just notice where you're at. So we're not trying to change it. We're just acknowledging. So now, if there's any tension or worry or anything else that's not going to be for your highest and best for this process, we're going to go ahead and release that now through our breath. So I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and then blow out your mouth. And we're going to just set the intention. We're going to send this sacred sage smoke to clear out anything that's not for your highest and best right now. That can be any tension, tightness, any beliefs that are right on the surface that you're ready to let go of, any habits, any mental fog, any overthinking. Take another deep breath. Inhale. Another deep breath. And one more big, deep cleansing breath. Inhale. Release. Now you can gently just move your body a little bit. Keep your eyes closed though. And I want you to take your fingers, your fingertips, and I want you to just tap on your heart center, just gently, just tapping on your heart center, just breathing. And now place your palm gently onto your heart. Bring your awareness into your center. So many of us, our energy is in our head or above our head, out here in the ethers. And I want you to just take a breath and bring your essence down into your body. Hand on your heart. Connecting with that peace and that quiet wisdom and that strength within you, that clarity. We set the intention that we let go of all of the stories, all the drama stories. They don't matter. All of that is out here. Now you're in here, in your essence, within your deepest self, your wisdom, your real truth. Even if you have the monkey mind that starts to go at some point, if it starts to chatter, I want you to feel that it's out there, but your attention is here. So if you notice the monkey mind, you can say, okay, it's kind of like if there are noisy people talking outside your window of your house, but you can just close the curtains and just not pay attention to it and pay attention to what's here. This is where we want to connect today for these important truths. I see some more of you joined. Well, let's take a deep cleansing breath. Inhale, exhale. Good. And listen to your body. Even though we're on Facebook Live or maybe you're watching the replay, there's a lot of energy shifting that can happen in a group energy like this. We don't have to be together in person for this big shifting to happen. So honor your body. One of the easiest ways to help yourself through a powerful energy process is to make sure that you're breathing nice and deep and to drink water or tea. So I'm going to take a sip of my water. Hopefully you all have your notebook and your pen and paper or whatever supplies that you have. And now we're going to go into our first question. All right, so those of you who have worked with me in my paid program, Spiritual Empowerment Academy, we've worked on this before, but it's always worth revisiting. So I want you to think about, not with your monkey mind, but with your essence. Tune in to your inner knowing. And for the rest of this class, I want you to even keep a slightly meditative state, unless you're driving. So just keep that quiet state if you can. And I want you to ask your deepest knowing, what if I could have one word or a short phrase that describes the theme for 2019, what would that word be? So, do your best to release the monkey mind. And I want you to write down what that word is. And I like using myself as an example. I noticed that I had a word that came to me immediately. But I was like, no, it can't be that word. It's probably a different word. I need to sit longer with it. No, that's a perfect example of what I just happened, what I just went through. That happens to a lot of people, that we get the answer immediately, but we second guess it. And so I want you to trust whatever word came to you, even before you had a chance to think about it. That's your word. Write it down. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, it might make sense later. Okay, so write it down. And now that you've written it down, I want you to type it in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and do some sharing. Yeah. So DC Reed says, many lessons learned. What would be a word, though? What do you think the word would be? Okay, Cindy's word for 2019 is believe. Mine that I heard, I'm writing down, was empowerment. Jeannie's word was difficult. Anna got the word fake. Mindy, intuitive. Lindy, acceptance. Constance, progress. Megan, doubt. DC, lessons. Okay, there we go. Kenzie, transition. Yeah. So those of you who've just joined, what does your inner knowing tell you that your word was for 2019? Carrie says chaos. Zahira says review and revamp. I like that. Rosie says faith. Anne says disappointment, and in parentheses, angst. Susan says successful. Melissa, growth. That was wonderful. Thank you all for sharing so quickly. Those came through so fast, because sometimes when I ask a question, it takes about a minute for, like, there's a little bit of lag time. So I must have a good internet connection today. That's great. So thank you all. And you know, this is about just acknowledgement. We don't have to judge or fix any of the situations. You know, if anyone had a word that might be considered negative, we don't have to judge it. We just say, okay, there it is. We don't have to fix it. We say, okay, there it is. And the good thing is that we are, because we have the calendar that we have, okay, that creates a collective energy, a collective consciousness that this is now an ending and we have a new cycle beginning. So we have a lot of energy cycles that occur naturally due to astrological influences. Okay, so like the universe that we are in, there are cycles that occur for different people based on what's going on in the universe. Well, our new year, at least in the Western world, is not based on anything going on astrologically, but because there's so much focus in the collective consciousness on this being an ending and then the new year being a new beginning, it does create an energy where cycles do end and new cycles begin. So if you had a difficult cycle last year, you can be happy that we are now at a juncture point where a new energy can begin. So that's we can acknowledge and go, oh, thank goodness it's New Year. It's New Year's. It's time to bless and release that, right? Okay, so slightly different question. This might be the same for some of you, but I think for a lot of you, it will be different. What was your lesson for 2019? For this past year? What was your lesson? Now, this doesn't have to be just a word. You can write a phrase or a sentence. What was, or it can be a word if that's what comes to you, but what was, so it could be a little more details about your word, or it could be something else, okay? I'm going to brainstorm mine. And as soon as you have yours, go ahead and write it down and then type it. And I don't remember if I read Melissa's yet. Melissa says growth. And Amira, I know I haven't read yours yet. It's reintegration. Okay. And Jeannie's lesson was to trust myself. Yes. So go ahead and type in your answers whenever you are ready. Mindy says, trust my gut. I'm going to say mine what is an extension of my word, empowerment, and it's something about learning to apply my spiritual empowerment techniques in a really tangible way in real life situations. That was my lesson. Like I was put through boot camp again with that. That was my lesson. Amira says helping others to help themselves. Lindy says to slow down. Constance says patience with the process. DC says, what was the question? Sorry, cutting out. DC, what was your lesson for 2019? What do you think your lesson was? Megan, caution. Cindy, learning to love myself and trust my guides. Susan Babcock, just be. I love that one. That's awesome. Okay. So now, for those of you who are really artsy, I know we're kind of going through this fairly quickly, but on your own, you could even make a page that has your lesson on it or your word and draw designs or images, okay? So you can have fun with this after we are all done. Oh, I'm starting to lose track of which ones I've read. Rosie says, caution. And Zahira says, set boundaries and be okay with releasing. Yeah. Kenzie, closure with a certain person, strength within. Yep. That's important. Okay, I'm getting the dry mouth. I need a mint. Melissa says, learned to step into my truth. Yes, that's awesome. Sahela, releasing. Yeah, got it. Cool. Okay, now I want you to take a little slip of paper. So from your notebook, just tear off a little piece of paper. And I want you to write 2019 or whatever year is ending. I want you to write that on there. 2019. Let me get a piece of paper. You can even draw designs, decorate it, make a little smiley face. La, 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 la. Yay. And then I want you to fold it. I'm using scrap paper, so there's words on the other side, because that was the first thing I could grab. You're just going to fold it up. This is actually similar to a Reiki technique that I teach in one of my classes. So you're just going to fold it up, and I want you to hold it in your hands. And I want you to channel from your heart center, send energy out from your heart chakra, out your arms, out the palms of your hands, into this paper, sending gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's see what other comments. Marcia says, declutter and that I am loved. Okay, so holding that piece of paper. Thank you. When you are in a place where you can do this, and if you're not, that's okay. Wait until you can do it safely. And actually, those of you, if you have the ability to burn sage, I want you to do that this evening. Burn some sage or whatever you like to burn, okay? And I'm going to light the sage again. And then I'm also going to light my little piece of paper. Oh, lots of smoke. And we're going to, if you're in a safe space where you can do this, go ahead and burn your piece of paper. I'm going to actually finish doing that later so I can focus on you guys. But we're releasing that energy. Out into the cosmos. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the blessings. Even the difficult ones. And that's really smoking. I don't want to start coughing. Let's see if we can get this over there. There we go. Anne, did I miss you? What was your comment? Go ahead and write it again. I apologize. I might miss some people as we go. And if that happens, definitely tell me. Yes, you're supposed to write this past year on the piece of paper, 2019 or whatever year you are watching this. 2019, and that's what we're releasing this past year. And just an addendum thought here, you could also write down, you can do this activity later, you could write down anything from this past year that wasn't serving you, and you can burn that along with your 2019, all of that on a piece of paper. But at the very least, we're writing the year and just blessing and releasing and saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know I posted a meme or like a little video GIF or whatever it's called. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And it was like, I forget the actor's name, but he was looking up and he was saying like, what the hell was that all about? And the meme said like, this is what I was saying this past year or something like that. And that's kind of what a lot of my year was like. What the F is this all about? Glad to be releasing all of that. So, yeah, I didn't see that comment at all. So I'm glad that you are, because I don't recognize this. Anne is saying, reacquaint with my strong self and hope to remember it. Yes, that's wonderful. Mindy says, sage spray I keep in my office. Yeah, that's good too. And Cindy says, burn, baby, burn. Thank you, 2019. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to look at my notes here. All right, now moving on to 2020. And again, dropping down into your inner. I just dropped down so much. I stopped talking. It's like, oh, I'm there in that place. Dropping down to your inner, your deepest inner wisdom, to that quiet place. What do you want? What do you intend for your word to be? Your theme for this coming year, for 2020. So let's just sit with that for a moment. I'm going to find my word as well. Zahira says, it was funny. Yes, that was a funny meme. Okay. So now for 2020, go ahead and start sharing what your word is. And not what you want it to be, right? Now I'm going to reword it and say that you are proclaiming this. You are claiming this energy of this word. It's not just a word. It's an energy. So there's power in proclaiming it within this group energy. Make sure you've written it down, because it's easy for it to disappear if you don't write it down somewhere. As you're listening, you can write it down and then start doodling and drawing. And if you're the artistic type, we have our first answer is from, oh my gosh, my 2019 paper. You know how I said I was going to burn the rest later? I only lit the edge. The whole thing is ashes now. Yay! Goodbye. Good riddance. Thank you for the wisdom. Our first answer is from DC, and she says joy. That's her word that she's embracing, embodying, and proclaiming for this next year. Cindy says growth and learn. Megan, healing. Mindy, intuitive. Limits was her word for 2019, and intuitive is the one for 2020. Lindy, determined and inspired. Zahira, watchfulness. Amira's word is reclaiming. Carrie, decisive. Rosie, happiness. Anne, explore. Susan, peace. Melissa, wholeness. And I have two words. Mine are recovery and strengthening, because the past year kind of beat me up. So I'm in deep recovery, rest, recovery, strengthening, like cultivating my energy. Anybody else want to share? Okay, now, I want to make sure I don't forget, we have a drawing at the end. I don't want to forget that, because I'm gonna do 3 free 15-minute video sessions with me. 3 different people will win. I want to make sure I don't forget. Okay, so now we've gone through some basic questions. Oh, Kenzie says relief and new. I want to give you this resource. Where did I find this? Oh, there we go. I want to give you this resource that I found, and I think I posted it in our Facebook group, and I really liked it. I have not gone through all the questions myself yet, but and I don't have the exact link, but it's these are 7 questions for the new year. 7 questions for the new year. And we'll go through 1 or 2 of these today, just for fun. These are from Carolyn Mace's website, and her name is her last name is pronounced Mace, but it's spelled MYSS. And her website is www.myss, that's as in Sam, zahira.com, and this was from her blog. Okay, so let me just look here and see. Okay, the one that's really popping out to me is number 5. So we're gonna do a little bit of evaluation here. I'm really big into, I do this myself every month at least. I take some time to sit down and with my journal, with my notebook, and think about what's working for me and what's not working for me and in my life and what I want to adjust. And I make those changes. And sometimes it takes a long time to initiate the changes. I'm going to give you an example. I decided that I wanted to be able, I think I wasn't taking hardly any time off. I was working like all the time. I'm going to give you a different example. This is better. I decided that at some point I wanted to move to a warmer climate. And but I thought, oh, that's going to be really hard because at the time, all of my work was done locally in Kansas City. I was doing all one-on-one sessions with people in my home office. And I thought, well, if I move, that would be really hard because then I would have I'd have to rebuild all my clients. And so I set a goal to start shifting more of my work online. And so I still had one-on-one clients, but I actually had to spend money, like a good chunk of money, on learning how to do online stuff, how to do this kind of work online. And oh my gosh, I had to be really committed to what it is that I wanted to do, this shift. And I knew that it wasn't going to happen immediately, right? And so over 5 years, I think maybe more than 5 years, a little more than 5 years, I made that transition. And so then that was why a couple months ago, or 6 weeks ago, something like that, I was able to move across the country. That's how I was able to do it. But I had to start working on it and take realistic steps. So I use this as an example because I think sometimes there's something that we want to achieve or do, but we feel like, and like we might try to make it happen a little bit, but then it's hard and it doesn't seem like it's working. And so we just kind of give up on it, and it's just like a dream, but we never really make it happen. And really the way that I've made things happen in my life is that I've looked at what I want, and then I set realistic goals, and I take steps. I take steps little bit by little bit and make it happen. So I wanted to explain that to preface this question that pops out of Carolyn Mace's list. This is number 5 on her list. Oh no, wait. This isn't what wait a minute, hold on. I was misreading. What was the one? Nope, this is the one we are supposed to do. Okay, I had to take a minute and listen to my inner guidance. This is the one that popped out to me. Okay, so this is about someone else, not you. Whose life, or it could be about you, maybe. Whose life do you want to improve, and how will you do that? Whose life do you want to improve, and how will you do that? Maybe it is maybe because we have to fill our own cup first. Maybe you need to improve your own life. And how are you going to do that? Maybe it's one of your children. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's your clients. Maybe it's your students. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you want to go work at the food pantry. So you want to help people who are less fortunate than you. Whose life do you want to improve, and how will you do that? And by By the way, there's no judgment at all if you are wanting to improve your own life. I think that actually there's a tendency to want to help everyone else without nurturing ourselves. I think there's a tendency for that, especially I'm feeling like with a lot of us in this group who are watching this. So listen to your inner guidance. Is it you whose life you need to focus on improving, or maybe someone else or another group? What is it that you want to do? So Anne says, how can you improve if you aren't allowed? Okay, so I think like if you're asking about someone else, right? Okay, so you can't, I'm so glad that you asked this question, as people always ask the most perfect questions. So you have an idea of how you want someone else's life to be, but that doesn't mean that you can control the other person. So this is not about controlling somebody. Like, you might know how you can improve, how you think that you can improve. So for you, I'm kind of tuning in a little bit to you, Anne. If it's a family member that you're wanting to support, really, you can only support them in whatever ways they will allow. So maybe it's just showing up and being present, letting them know that you are there or that you're available, or calling once a day or once a week or whatever. So there's a balance there. Okay. And Mindy, my son's life. So tell us how. Whose life do you want to improve, and how will you do that? So tangible action. What are you going to do? Is there something you're going to do every day after work or before bed or in the morning? It doesn't have to be 10 million things, but like, what's one thing, a tangible thing that you want to do to help improve his life? So maybe this question is harder, isn't it? I'm going to think a little bit on how I would answer this. Okay, I just thought of my answer. And now we have a question. We have a response from Cindy. I can improve my family's life by improving my own. Yeah, I agree with that so much. You got to fill your own cup first. Then you can give so much more. Happy wife, happy life. Smiley face. I want to grow our own food healthy from the inside out. That sounds awesome. Yeah, and Anne says, so many choices. Rosie, her answer is me and boundaries. Mindy says, being there for him and being present physically and emotionally. Yeah, so I hope you don't mind if I use you as an example, Mindy. So when we set goals, it's actually really good to come up with like actual examples of exactly what you're going to do. So yeah, you're going to be there physically and emotionally, and I know that that's true. I can feel it, that like you really are going to do that. But just as an example, like, what's something that you could do on a daily basis to be there for him physically or emotionally? Like, is there some habit that you could add to the day, or something that you're already doing that is an example of being present for him physically and emotionally? Susan wants to improve her own life, my mental health being a priority. Zahira, I want to heal myself and do more self-care so I can be of better help for my husband. Yep, so important. Okay, we still have room for a few more answers. All right, let me just sit with this for a moment and see if there's anything else that pops out. Okay, we're going to do one more. This is the final. This is number 7 on Carolyn Mace's 7 questions for the new year. So we're going to have our final question be this one. In what way do you want to deepen your own spiritual life? In what way do you want to deepen your own spiritual life? So here we also want we want something tangible. Instead of saying like meditate, if that's your answer, then exactly how? Like, is it going to be like starting today, meditate for 10 minutes every night or every morning or whatever? So that's an example of setting something that's really tangible. Because if you just say meditate, guess what? You're probably barely going to do it. That's just a fact. So whatever it is, and I'm not saying that you need to meditate, that's just an example. In what way do you want to deepen your spiritual life? There are so many ways. Like spirituality it's beyond just meditating. It's beyond just praying. There's so much scope to it. I mean, I have some thoughts about what it could be, but I'm going to let you all answer. Okay, let's see. Who did I miss? Mindy, I changed careers and it didn't help my time with him, with your son. I'll make sure that now that I'm selling that business, I now have time set aside for him specifically. That's wonderful. That sounds really good. Kenzie, daily grounding. Okay, so Kenzie, in what way? Or are you going to do different ways of daily grounding? And are you going to do it at a certain time of the day or not? What's that going to look like? And are you starting today? When are you starting? Susan says, dance. Okay, so tell me, like when? You're going to go to a dance class once a week, or are you going to dance every day in your living room? Tell me exactly what you mean. Okay. Mindy says, practicing listening to my guides as I do intuitive readings and doing more readings daily instead of saying, oh, I'm no good today and won't help anyone. Yeah. I encourage you, Mindy, if you're doing readings, eventually you can get to the point where you can do readings no matter what. You just have to trust yourself. That's my 2 cents. Megan, hi Megan, says, I think it would help me to commit to a gratitude journal at least a few times a week. Yeah. So, I think that's great. So is there a way that you could set aside particular blocks of time, like every Saturday morning and every whatever, or whatever works for you? Because if you don't set a time, then a lot of times we just don't ever get around to it, or we do it once or twice and then we kind of forget. So that would be my suggestion. Mindy says, sorry, was catching up, video cut out. Oh, welcome back. Cindy says, I want to connect to nature more in the garden, and nature walks sounds awesome. Very cool. So we might have a few more answers coming through. And as we're waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and go over some more information. So first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining. We're not quite done because we're going to have some free gifts here at the end. But I wanted to just give you some information that if you would like to go deeper with me, I have this amazing program. It's called the Spiritual Empowerment Academy, and it's a 12-month online course. We actually meet online on video, but it's a little bit different than this. We actually meet on the Zoom platform where we can all see each other, and we have 2 Zoom classes a month, and we also have a Facebook Live like this, and we also have healing support. We have an energy healing support for the group, and then I also do online intuitive readings for the group. The focus of the group is all about developing your spiritual gifts and that we focus on a lot of different aspects of developing your spiritual gifts. Lately, we've been focusing a lot on developing your intuitive psychic abilities, and we're moving into learning and applying skills for becoming more spiritually empowered and protecting yourself, and managing your energy, those kinds of things. That's what we're going to be doing. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my website, www.psychicprotectionsanctuary.com. And then on the events, under the events tab, you'll see Spiritual Empowerment Academy. Okay, enough with that, because we have some more answers I want to read. Megan says, that sounds doable. Zahira says, meditate 10 minutes every morning and dancing at home every other day for 15 minutes. That sounds fun, actually. I wonder if I want to add some dancing. That sounds fun. Susan says, dance at work, at home, to the music in my head, to what's on the radio, with my children, every chance I get. I think that sounds awesome. So like literally threading dance all through your life. That sounds wonderful. Rosie says, work on guilt, self-work. Yeah, getting to the root of what that's all about, the seed of where that came from for you. I see lots of juicy work there. Anne says, I've committed to getting my place in order by March 12th. I'll have been in here a year. It's time. I already started today, working some every day. That's wonderful. And Anne says, oops, hit caps lock and didn't notice. That's okay. No worries. I figured you were just really excited about what you were saying. Melissa says, I'm going to plant-based and vegan in order to become a better channel spiritually. I'm excited for this food journey. I will be planning and preparing meals in advance in order to nurture my body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, I'm definitely in support of people listening to their bodies and listening to your body's needs from day to day and feeding yourself the best possible food that your body is asking for. So that's wonderful that you're going on a food journey. Kenzie says, I love dancing. Yeah, me too. Lindy says, clean diet and processing emotions. Yeah. You know, when I see the word processing, it makes me think like, well, you're doing a clean diet. So you're removing processed food and then you're processing your emotions. I don't know. I just wanted to mention that. Hello again. Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. All right. So we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. Let's do our drawing. Here's how it's going to work this time. I've had mixed results with doing drawings on Facebook Live because sometimes people are not around anymore. They've dropped off. So if you want to be added to the drawing, go ahead and say here, comment here, type the word here, and then you will be added. Okay. So I'm going to do a drawing for 3 15-minute sessions. Well, I'm going to pick 3 people each for a 15-minute session. So go ahead and say here, so I know that you're here, and you will be added. Susan says, where is it? I thought the exact same thing about processing. Neat. Cool. High five. Melissa says, making more time for meditation. Yes. And I got you down. Okay. Lindy, I got you down. Sorry, I'm making the camera shake. Susan Babcock. Cindy. Constance. Hey, Constance. I think you won last time, a year ago, didn't you? Am I remembering correctly? Mindy. I got to see everybody. Mindy. Kenzie. I know this takes a minute, but it's better than me going Bueller. Bueller. Is Bueller here? I don't know if you remember that movie. Anyway. Okay, we got Yenzi, Rosie, DC. Zahira. Melissa. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Give me some love. Give me some hearts. DC says, enjoyed this. Thank you. Missed you. Ready for a happy, healthy, peaceful year ahead. Yes. Constance says, yes, what timing and what a memory. Oh, yeah, my memory is actually not that great, but I do remember that. Okay, so let's see. We're going to see who we get. I'm actually using my pendulum. This is actually a technique that I teach in my group program. It's one of the many, many things that I teach. And just as an FYI, for those of you who, at DC, I did see you. Yes. My energy is what is moving the pendulum. I never, ever let anything else move my pendulum. So it's all my energy. Okay. So I'm seeing, so basically I'm using the pendulum to, really the question is, well, of course I love all of you. I love all of you. I love all of you. The question with the pendulum is, who is supposed to receive this? So whoever it's in the highest and best for. Because I'm sure you all would love it. I'm sure you would all love a 15-minute extra reading with me. Okay, I think we have all three of our people. But I'm seeing what the pendulum says. Okay. All right. So I would hold the pendulum over each person's name and see who I got a yes or who I got a no from. And if I held it and said, who do I love? I would have gotten a yes on everybody. But what I asked was, who is supposed to receive this free gift? And so this time, these are the people who are supposed to receive this. So Lindy, you receive a free 15-minute video session with me. So go ahead and shoot me a Facebook message, or I'll try to reach out to you. We need to contact each other and we will set it up. And Mindy, yay! And Rosie, yes, Rosie is here in Tucson, where I just moved to. So that's exciting. Happy dance. Oh, and here's the thing. I always want to give everybody free gifts. So let me go into my archives of stuff. And I'm going to see if I have anything hidden away on my website. Oh, I know exactly. Okay, because I want everybody to get a gift. I feel like Oprah right now. You get a new car, and you get a new car, and you get a new car. I know I'm not Oprah, but I want everybody to have a gift. So actually, there was a past Facebook challenge that I did. I think it was a year ago, and I don't think it's available to the public. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it. I'm going to find it, and then I'm going to connect it with this video. So if you're watching the replay on YouTube, this will be in the free Facebook challenge with tons of juicy content is going to be in the description. If you are watching this in my Facebook group, Spiritual Empowerment Community, I will make sure to post it in the replay comments, and also I'll post it extra on the page, on the group as well. So give me a few minutes to find that so that you all can have access to it. And so I think that I can find last year's Facebook challenge. And if I can't find that, I will find something else really awesome to share with you all. Let me read comments here. Oh, if you were one of the winners, again, the winners for the 15-minute session are Lindy, Mindy, and Rosie. Y'all rhyme with each other. So let's make sure to message each other. And Uh, and DC, I actually can't type the names while I'm on a Facebook Live, that because I don't have it set up that way. Sorry about that. Um, and Cindy gives a smiley face. Yay. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, I'm not sure why your video. Yeah, so DC, you might check your internet. But if anybody missed that, I will go ahead and message anyone who won. And Rosie says, Yippee, Happy New Year. Yay. Hi, Megan. Good to see you back. I didn't see you there for a while. Hi. Melissa says, congratulations to all. Yeah, Melissa, we had a reading back last summer. I think we did. Yeah, awesome. Anne, congrats, folks. Anne, I love you dearly. Cindy, thank you. You are welcome. Susan says, thank you, Maya. You're welcome. Kenzie, thank you, Maya. Happy New Year to everybody. Mindy says, thank you, said Lindy, and Mindy, LOL. Okay, so I have one final announcement, and it is that every January I try to do a special event in our Facebook group. Not just this is a special event, but there's a bigger special event that I do, and I'm going to be working on it this weekend. And it's the, what did I write down? Free 14-day spiritual empowerment activation. And it is a 14-day Facebook Live journey. We don't go quite as long as this one, but we have a Facebook Live every single day in our Facebook group. And so you can look forward to that happening in January. And I'll be posting announcements about that. So stay tuned. I think it is starting partway through next week. So I will be sure to post announcements so you can have more information about what that is all about. Rosie says, thank you, Maya. Zahira, Happy New Year, everyone. Zahira says, thank you, Maya. Melissa, we had a lovely reading. Yes, I remember. Okay, thanks, everybody. Anne says, Happy New Year. Yay. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end the live feed, sending you all my love. And I will see you. Oh, Constance says, and it is an amazing journey. You should come if you haven't before. Amazing journey. Where? What is an amazing journey? You just lost me. Oh, oh gosh, I was like, where? What are you talking about? Traveling? No, the Facebook challenge. Yes, sorry. Sometimes I laugh at myself. I'm hilarious. Sometimes I don't get it. Yeah, the Facebook challenge is a wonderful journey. It's so awesome. In fact, whenever we finish it, everybody's like, oh, now what are we going to do? Because we get so used to meeting together every day, and it's this wonderful community. So you can look forward to that journey coming up really soon. Megan says, my first Facebook Live here, and I enjoyed it so much. Happy New Year. Yeah, and Megan, I'll also see you in my other group because we have a Facebook Live there next Monday. So I think you'll find that very informative as well. Constance says, yes, Facebook challenge. Yep. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I will be posting your free gift very soon. So watch for that. As always, I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.